Why, hello there, everybody. Mike here, and welcome to another episode of Spiral Up. Now, I had the absolute wonderful pleasure of meeting an individual who I had previously been completely unaware of that just blew me away. His name is Tom Morris. He's the author of over 20 books. Has been a professor at Notre Dame and has traveled the world as a amazingly effective public speaker. Now, here's the thing. He's got a brand new book coming out called Plato's Lemonade Stand, where he actually presents the tips and the tools and the techniques to turn lemons into lemonade. We've all heard the deal, right? Turn your problems into something else, right? Turn lemons into lemonade. Well, if you're interested in how to do that, go find the book called Plato's Lemonade Stand. Now, here's the thing. I became aware of him through Optimize.me as a guest speaker for the Optimize Coach program. He absolutely blew me away. I mean, his presence, his enthusiasm, his passion, it was all there. Like, he was an amazingly energetic dude, and he blew me away with so many different tools. But the one tool that truly stuck with me, the one tool that I've used multiple times this week, comes from one of his books called The Oasis Within. And it's an analogy for a telescope. Boop. So when we look through a telescope, we usually look through what end? The small end, right? Well, what does that small end make whatever we're looking at much larger, right? Okay, so imagine that you're using a telescope to examine the things that are happening to you or the world around you. If we're using a telescope like we normally would, it's going to take whatever's happening and amplify that. So let's imagine got into a little spat with your kid or your spouse. In the grand scheme of things, if we're using that telescope and we're looking through it in the small end, it's going to make that problem appear much larger. Well, what happens when we turn that thing around and we actually look at the same problem through the big end of the telescope? That problem's going to be much smaller, isn't it? And it was a fantastic little mindset tool for me, right? Most of these things in life are turning it around or finding an angle to where it's not as bad as we think it is. And this telescope analogy is a perfect, simple little thing to do. Therefore, I ask you, when something occurs in your life and you're feeling icky or you're feeling wronged or you're just feeling unsettled about whatever it is, which end of the telescope are you actually looking at the problem with? Are you looking at it with the small end of the telescope that's going to magnify that problem into something much larger, much bigger? Or are you going to turn that sucker around and look through the big end of the telescope to make that problem much smaller? Now, I want you to think about that. More importantly, I want you to do something about that. But whatever you do, feel better today while getting better. For tomorrow, we're going to see you later, everybody. Bye. Bye.